Hi, I'm Alejandro Dominguez, or you might know that because I have a name tag. Anyways, I'm here to do my how-to speech, and so I thought, what can I do? What can I teach my audience here? For my audience today, I have my little sister, Yeli Arvizo. She is a fourth grader, and I'm going to teach her how to prep your bag for wrestling meet. Now, you might be thinking, this is probably information that she will never use, but who knows? She's very adventurous, and she might one day want to be wrestled one day. You never know. So, for a bit of background information, I was a wrestler back in 2016 to 2017, back in my high school days at ASU Preparatory Academy, Go Sun Devils. And here's the proof. Well, here's the proof whatsoever. And so, getting on the subject, what do you want to get ready for this meet? So, a wrestling meet is something that would often happen at 6 or 7 in the morning. It would happen around that time. At that time, you would have to get ready. You would have to wrestle about 3 matches. Each match lasted about 15 minutes. And so to get ready for this match, you need a variety of items, as you can see here that I have. Item you have, first of all, that's most important, is your sports bag. Your sports bag contains all your equipment. It's going to have everything you need. Usually it's going to be filled with a bunch of items. But here I'm going to show you today what items you need to pack in order to be ready for a wrestling meet. And so some of the first items that are more important to a wrestler are his wrestler shoes. Wrestler shoes are very important. They're not like regular shoes. They're not like these Nikes I'm wearing. They're more like athletic fit. If you're playing sport like soccer, like hockey, or like basketball, you have to get certain shoes for that. But for wrestling, you need wrestling shoes in particular. This brand is called Matflex. Another good brand you can get is Reebok, but this is the cheaper option at the time. And they served me well back in the day. So first, you need your wrestling shoes. Very important. Wrestling shoes are something you always have to have. Second thing you probably should have is your wrestling helmet. Your wrestling helmet is very important because when you're wrestling, you're going to be running around a lot. You got to do these positions. You got to be on the mat a lot. You're getting like choked almost. You're getting roughed up. And so this thing prevents you from getting any concussions. As we know, sports contain a lot of concussions. Wrestling contains lots of concussions. Football concussions, basketball concussions. Concussions can leave long-lasting damage, and to avoid that, wrestlers wear these headgears. For example, you'd put this on, and then you would tie it on. You would go around this little hole, and then you would close it. It's like that. So, go ahead. Nice. So it would go like that. And when you're wrestling a match, it would obviously have the more comfortable thing in the world, but believe me, when you're wrestling someone, this comes in very handy because you're not going to be slapped around a lot or rolled around a lot with this thing on. Very useful. Never forget this. Another thing that is very important is a singlet. So kind of like, the wrestlers have the thing that's all black. It's kind of like this, the straps on it. I don't know how my singlet is. I have to return that once the season was over. But yes, the singlet is very important. Think of wrestlers like Big Show, Kurt Angle, they wear like that. Anyways, another thing that you might want to have is, these are more things that are like kind of things you might need that are going to come in handy, not something they're necessities. Necessities are things like this: the headgear, the shoes, and the singlet. The things you might want to have are a spare change of clothes, the standard shorts, the standard shirt. You're going to need these because after you're done wrestling your match, you're going to be very sweaty. You're going to have sweat all over your body. You're going to be tired. You're going to want to change out. So always good to have an extra pair of shorts and an extra shirt. This was the shirt I wore back in the day. It was a ASU Prep Wrestling shirt. Not the best design, if I'm being honest, but I digress. It was a cool shirt at the time. It's on the bag, although more neatly. Another thing you might want to have is these. However, I might mind you, only use these after the meet is over, because once the meet is over, first the meet opens with the Pledge of Allegiance, 7 or 8 in the morning. You go there, you know the Pledge of Allegiance, right? I Pledge of Allegiance. It's to the flag. Yeah, like that. Cool. Proud of you. So, anyways, yes, you start with the Pledge of Allegiance, you end with the Pledge of Allegiance, and once it's all over, you're most likely going to be just kind of sitting around or waiting for your ride to go home. That's how it was in my time. And I found a good way to spend the time was either A, go on your phone, B, talk to your friends on the team, or C, listen to some music. That's why always having some headphones are really good, because after the match you kind of want to relax, you want to get back into the calmness zone. So these are always something very vital to have. So these go in the bag. One last thing, well, actually no, 2 more things to go. Another thing that's essential, I forgot to mention, is a notebook. You always want to have a notebook down because when you're wrestling, you wrestle about 3 people, right? And so a consistent match lasts 3 rounds. You can either go out in one of these rounds, or you can go to a draw, which will go to whoever got the most pins, the near pins, or whoever got the most takedowns. And so back in my days, we would have to write down how many takedowns did I get, how many times did I get taken down, and how many times did I pin on the floor, or how many times did I pin him. And all this information will come in handy for the next practice, because at that next practice, you would have to go over it with the coach. And that way you can improve your game. It goes in the bag. Very important. Finally, my personal favorite item, trail mix. Trail mix is very important because you might be thinking it's chocolate, but trail mix has one key ingredient that makes it more than above average than other meals you can snack on while doing sports. The best thing about trail mix, it has raisins, and raisins increase your energy by a lot because the raisins are, well, that's what coach said at least. I'm not a major in that area, but yes, raisins actually do, believe it or not, they do help you gain some momentum going when you're losing a lot of sweat. Another thing you might need is a water bottle, but I don't have a water bottle. Well, there's one over there, but I can't grab it. It's too far. Anyways, yes, that is pretty much what you would need for a wrestling match. Another thing you would need for a wrestling match is a clear motivation. You'd have to go in there with some goals. You'd have to go in there knowing you're going to do your very best, and don't ever put your body in a dangerous situation that could go beyond. If you're feeling like your bones are about to break, stop it. It's not worth it. We're all here to have fun. We're all here to compete. We're all here to further ourselves in ways you didn't know we could. Cool. Right now, you're probably going through PE. You're probably just playing basketball, having fun, right? You love PE, right?
time.
Free time. Yeah, she loves free time. Stuff like that, yes. But in the future, you may want to do a sport. Or maybe not. It's really cool. It's a really fun activity to do in high school. I loved high school. I love doing sports, but anyways, that was hopefully something that you could pick up on. That is how you prepare for a wrestling meet. Hope you found this video informative, and I'd like to thank my sister for listening to me talk about wrestling. I'd like to thank my camera person a bit, holding the phone so generously, and thank you very much for listening. Have a good one.